Hello, and welcome to the Foundation of Faith series, The Bridge Builder's Code, Volume 1, by Jenny Jo Bingham. Today we're reading the epilogue. If you're here, you have made it all the way through the book with us, so thank you. We appreciate you being here. A new beginning. The bridge stood complete, bathed in the golden light of morning. Jake leaned against the rail at the center, hands tucked into his coat pockets, watching the river flow below. Behind him, two kids raced across the planks, their laughter ringing like music. An older couple slowed slowly after them, fingers intertwined. Somewhere up the path, a golden retriever dragged its owner toward the water with more enthusiasm than grace. The bridge felt alive now, no longer just beams and bolts. It was a living thread through Silver Ridge, binding past to present, grief to healing, and dreams to something you could only set your feet on. Jake exhaled, the kind of breath you only take when you know you've carried something all the way to the other side. And just like that, a memory stirred, unexpected, unannounced. He'd been 19, home from his first year at college. They'd come down to the river at sunset, Jake thinking his dad wanted to talk lumber specs or repairs. But his father wasn't looking at the bridge site at all. His eyes were fixed on the hills beyond, lit gold by the fading light. One day, he said, pointing, when the bridge is done, I'd like to build something over there. Jake had frowned. Another project? His dad's mouth curved. Not quite a smile. Not a project, a haven. For folks who don't quite know where to start again. Not fancy, just open. At 19, Jake had filed it away as another dream in a long list of what-ifs. He hadn't understood then that his father hadn't been talking about buildings at all. He'd been talking about people. Footsteps approached from behind, steady, familiar. Jake didn't have to turn. You getting sentimental on me, Evan asked, stopping beside him. Paint's barely dry. Jake smirked. Just making sure it's still standing. Oh, it'll hold, Evan said, tapping the rail as if that was all the proof he needed. Then he dropped a beat-up leather bag between them. Found this cleaning out my truck. Figured it belonged to you. Inside was a stack of worn blueprints and sketches, bridges, buildings, rough ideas, but one page near the bottom stopped Jake cold. It was titled, The Builder's Haven. A lodge-like design, wide porches, a dining hall, classrooms, dorm rooms, and in his father's faded handwriting, for dreamers, builders, and those in need of a place to begin again. Jake's grip tightened. The ache in his chest wasn't grief. It was recognition. This was the rest of the vision. You knew about this? He asked quietly. Evan shook his head. Nah, guess your dad had bigger plans than we realized. Jake traced the edge of the page. Maybe plans that aren't supposed to stay on paper. Evan groaned. Here we go. That's your, hey Evan, guess what crazy project we're starting next face? Jake just smiled. What if the bridge isn't the end? Off to the side, Pastor Allen arrived. No fanfare, just presence. Bible in one hand, cane in the other. You did it, he said. Jake nodded. I didn't do it alone. No good builder ever does. The pastor's eyes softened. You honored your father. But more than that, you stepped into your own calling. So keep building. Jake looked past the bridge, toward the hills his father once pointed to. I think that's exactly what I'm going to do. The bridge had done its job, connecting what was once divided. But Jake knew now it never was just about fixing what had been abandoned. It was about building what was still missing. And maybe it was time for something bigger. Something that would give people more than a way across. It would give them a place to belong when they got there. The river whispered below. The hills waited beyond. And Jake Weston smiled. The bridge wasn't the ending. It was the trailhead. And he had just taken the first step. Thank you for being here with us as we read this book, The Bridge Builder's Code, Volume 1. We thank you and we ask that you, if you enjoyed it, that you stick around for The Bridge Builder's Haven, Book 2 or Volume 2 in the Foundation of Faith series. Here's a little excerpt to get you started. The Bridge Builder's Haven. Jake Weston thought completing the bridge was the final chapter in his father's legacy. But some foundations lead to something more. When a forgotten lodge and a faded journal resurface, a new vision takes shape. One built not just of wood and nails, but of second chances, inner healing, and the kind of restoration no blueprint can fully capture. But will it cost more than he's willing to risk? The bridge was only the beginning. Now the real rebuilding begins. Thank you, and we look forward to seeing you again